I can't believe Luka Doncic is a Los Angeles Laker. When you look and see him in your Lakers 77, what are you thinking when you see that?
When in my position, when you see certain players in the league and you think there's no way I'll ever have that player on my team, like it's just impossible unless you draft a star like that. Mm-hmm. They usually don't move. And, when the opportunity came up, we were not looking to move Anthony Davis. He was he was our rock solid player. And so we had to give up a lot to get Luka, but the opportunity to get him. And, I look back and, the last time I saw Kobe alive was about a month before he passed. And he had brought Gigi to the Lakers game to see Luka play because Luka was Gigi's favorite player. And, it's just the idea that Luka is now a Laker. I know how happy that would make Kobe and Gigi.
How happy has it made LeBron?
I think it's working.
No, I know. But I also, listen, Jeanie, I understand the sensitivity here because Anthony Davis is a terrific basketball player and was, I'm sure,
won a championship
right there on the ring on your finger from 2020. And I also understand that he was definitely your vision of when LeBron does retire, that's the guy you want people to come down to crypto.com to go see. And I totally get that. And now it's changed. It's now Luka in that role. So I understand the sensitivities about all that when it comes to Anthony Davis, certainly tonight with the Mavericks being in the building. But that said, when did it arrive? When did it finally first land on your radar screen that Luka was a possibility even in your world?
The conversation started a couple weeks before the trade was executed. And what was really important was Rob Pelinka, the general manager, and I, we did not want any part of it to leak out because it's very disruptive to a team that's trying to focus on getting better. We have a rookie coach in JJ Redick, and the idea of blowing something up mid-season to make a trade like that, if it didn't go through, would have repercussions. So it was really, tight-lipped, and each step of the way was discussed, and we were able to make a deal that both sides were comfortable with.
Well, mission accomplished on keeping it quiet.
Thank you.
I mean, the number of people that were just stunned. It was the whole world. It was the basketball world, just absolutely stunned that this got pulled off. And that also includes Luka. Quite honestly,
he had no idea.
What was your first conversation with him like, if you don't mind me asking?
Just, I think it still hadn't set in with him,
right?
Because it's very humbling to be traded. Nobody wants to go through that, and he just bought a house and was settling in, and so I think it surprised him. But I think now, it's been 3 weeks, so he's kind of getting on board.
Well, how have you helped with that process? Like, how have you or your team handled his mental state? Because again, I totally understand this, not to equate me with Luka, but I thought I was going to be on ESPN my entire life, and I was there for 7 years, and they allowed me to walk. And I was stunned. It took me a long time. A couple times, actually, in my first year on NFL Network, I just said, you're watching SportsCenter. It came out of my mouth. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I totally get it. But so how have you and your team been part of his sort of intake?
We've embraced his family, his management, everything we can do to make his transition smoother is what we're doing. And, it takes time because he's got to decide, he doesn't know LA. He's got to figure out where he wants to live. There's there's just a lot going on. Plus, he's got to figure out how to fit into this team. But, J.J. Redick played with him for, I think a month or so with the Mavericks. So they had a relationship. Dorian Finney-Smith, who had been his teammate with the Mavericks, we had just acquired a few weeks before. So, we're just trying to build that continuity, that community where he feels embraced and, he can accomplish all the things that he wants to. And when I met him, the first thing I said to him, because I think a lot of times when players come to the Lakers, there's such a history that it's kind of like, how am I ever going to stand out when all these great Laker players, how am I going to get my jersey up there? And, the first thing I said to him was, you're going to write your own chapter in the Laker history book. We're so excited to have you. And, and then he said, he really wished that Kobe was there.
No kidding.
Yeah.
He said that.
Yeah. I mean, it's that was like a very important relationship, that, Kobe really took him under his wing and was supportive of him. And so I think he feels that even though without Kobe present, that there's that kind of feel with our organization. And, we'll do our best. And
so, again, I know you delegate quite a bit, but were you involved in the first night as to who was introduced last, or is that just Luka and LeBron handling that?
I think that was the team.
First night?
Yeah, that was the team deciding, and I'm not exactly sure whose idea it was, but when that happened, I thought that was a really special moment that they figured that out. And
apparently, it was LeBron who reached out to Luka, and but I would imagine you, as the governor of the team, you would want to make sure you weren't even thinking about that sort of thing, huh?
No, but I mean, that is so like LeBron, and he's captain of the team. That doesn't surprise me if it was LeBron's suggestion.
There are many people out there who watch you acquire a 25-year-old superstar that nobody thought was available, and was technically only what it seemed like made available to you and your franchise. I understand that once again, the Lakers have gotten a generationally brilliant player to put out there as a crown jewel for this franchise in Los Angeles. And people are like, damn it. How the hell do they pull it off? How do you respond to something like that?
Chip off the old block? I don't know. Like, it's something my dad would have done. But I mean, you have to remember, we had the piece that they wanted, which was Anthony Davis. And so, that's why they came, that's why the conversation started, because they wanted Anthony.
No, I know that there's a sensitivity to this subject matter. I saw your facial expression when I even brought this up, that it's just, being brought on a silver platter to the Lakers, or a golden platter, or a platinum platter, adamantium platter to your franchise.
Yeah, and, like I said, we have a rookie coach who is showing a lot of promise in what his career is going to be. And, we want to give him all the resources that he needs to be successful. And certainly Luka was on that list.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.